Now, the footage is taken directly off my PlayStation 4 and it isn't too great in perceiving what I see in the headset at all. This was the only way I could obtain footage for the game, so I apologize if it isn't the greatest. I'm honestly not typically known for reviewing games either, even outside of the world of the internet. Nonetheless, this was an urgent matter to me. The people required this information to be passed on, otherwise there would be no hope. Why is Doom VFR so terrible? That is the question I asked myself. It seemed alright on the surface, but I feared the problem lay within. I decided to do some research on the topic, but not at the hands of professionals. I ventured onto the Steam store and read some reviews. The game was mixed, thus it would be safe to assume that the game was somewhat of a mess. My theory was proven right as I scrolled through the walls of text that others had written in hopes that their words would steer their comrades in the right direction. Should I buy this game? Well, if I am releasing this video, I did. I was curious about the quality of the title after witnessing a stream of negative reviews from players. However, the largest difference between myself and a Steam user is that I am utilizing it on my PlayStation 4, and they are not. This is the point where my curiosity peaked. Will the PlayStation 4 version be adequate due to the developers being pressured by publishers due to physical releases? I was mildly disappointed. I felt controlled by the movement restriction that the game had forced upon me. These movement restrictions were only being able to teleport and quick dash. Initially, I thought this would cause combat to be difficult and make the concept of Doom suffer. After all, they do say that hell devours the indolent. With this knowledge, I was about to remove the headset and forget about this game in its entirety. When I remembered the setting, I automatically am drawn to shooter settings, typically to turn aim assist off, because I am such an MLG player that I don't need aim assist. You stupid game, please stop turning it on. Anyway, they had an option for the left stick movement enabled. At the start, I had no idea what this function did, but after playing the tutorial for all of 5 minutes, I knew exactly what it meant. It was the freedom button. I proceeded into the menu and turned on the left analog stick movement, and the game behaved so much differently. So much better. Descend into hell. The adrenaline was coursing through my veins, and I was ready to kick some demon ass. This is Doom virtual fucking reality. The issue I had at the start seemed to be fixed. How the VR headset and my controller conversed with each other throughout the game was complementary. I had no issues with it at all. This was it. This is what I had been searching for within this title. I could move wherever and whenever I wanted to, while having the option to teleport. Nevertheless, this movement would only be achieved through the DualShock 4 controller, as it was controlled by the analog stick. With every good thing though, there are other negative aspects. While the movement problem was fixed, the game didn't quite live up to my expectations. For only one reason though. I wanted to play as the Doom guy. I personally believe that this game would have benefited more from either rehashing Doom 2016 or adding some form of continuation from the end of Doom, where we had access to everything that the original game held instead of only allowing us to obtain half of what made the adrenaline rush that was Doom 2016. You do not have access to the chainsaw, and you are only allowed one upgrade to your weapon that is predetermined, with there being no way you can access the other ones. Not only this game feels very short, and it is as though it's DLC and not a standalone title. The teleportation system and the directional pad sharp movement is not enough flexibility for a franchise such as Doom, and should have never been designed to have that as a default. However, I do not dislike the teleportation system when using correlation with the analog stick controls. It can prove quite useful during combat. I feel that the developers of Doom VFR did not pay too much attention to the product that they were handing out to the market, and that they didn't allow for much time to be given to the project itself, thus the subpar condition that it holds compared to the game which it came from. It isn't a bad game by any means. Nonetheless, relying on the consumer to allow for the game to be more exciting is not a good idea in any game at all. Even with all this though, it is still exciting to see all of the demons in virtual reality. I mean, staring down a cyber demon one-on-one in virtual reality was absolutely breathtaking. I got to see it for what it was worth. And not only that, it was a 3D environment like real life. And it was in front of me, and it was coming towards me, and I was shooting the absolute shit out of it. Also, all of the glitches that people had claimed to be present, I had never encountered a glitch throughout my whole playthrough. Whether this is a difference between the PC and the PS4 version, or updates from the release date, is beyond my current knowledge. In conclusion, Doom VFR is not a bad game, but only if you change the settings for the game yourself, and you are using some form of gamepad. This might kill the experience for some PC gamers, but I can assure the PS4 players that the game will operate to a higher quality if you alter the settings of the game. Thanks for watching me, Droogs. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and tell me how I did with this video. Disagree, or write your opinion down below. Later, Droogs.